Looking at a scenario in which Germany and Central Europe goes to war. As you can see, Germany has the advantage. Will the war expand or will it not? Let's see. Well, Croatia and Slovenia are not really in Central Europe, but I'll add them just to make it fair. I'll add these two just to even up the fight. Not really, other nations could still join. With Central Europe about to have some fun, as Czechia gets a big advance right away. They also advance into Austria. With the goal of taking over Vienna, they cut it off from the mountainous area. And against Poland, they make small advances. And while Poland loses some more land, and along the coast they start losing. With Czechia, Germany moves into Prague. Well, they surround the country and then move into Prague. And in this mountainous area, they send a mountainous group of forces. With a stalemate breaking out for a bit before an advance in southern Poland. With no counter-offensives, the Baltics join against Germany. With a counter-offensive happening in Poland and Czechia. Them being pushed up, and at the same time pushed down here, with them having to pull the front back to here. With us being the new front, but they still have the advantage. With Germany mad that Poland and them brought in more nations, they negotiate with Italy. Why Italy? Well, they want them to join. With them creating an alliance. Oh great, the Axis is back. Nah, I'm kidding. But they managed to do this and this. We're going to keep France out, I guess. With German and Italian forces moving into Slovenia and Croatia. And they managed great success. With Germany continuing its advance in the Czech Republic and Austria. With Austrian advance, they head towards Vienna, which they managed to take. This leads to the surrender of Austria, which leads to them falling. And all the occupying forces being kicked out. With them managing to take Bratislava from Slovakia. And then in Croatia, Italy's doing Italian stuff. With Croatia collapsing to Italy. With Romania attempted to join. With Romania joining with an ally. Why am I adding nations? Well, to make this video a bit more interesting. With them moving into Hungary. With them moving to here. With Italian forces and German forces deciding to start collapsing Hungary. With Poland begging Ukraine to join. With a Ukrainian entrance to the war, Romania isn't going to have fun. With Moldova collapsing first. Well, they're quickly collapsed. With Romania losing its coastline but managing to hold the front. They also launch an advance in the north to try to push them out of Hungary. With their forces also meeting in the Polish-German front. Push Germany back. With Germany still tempted to win. With most of Slovakia falling. With Belarus being offered lands. But we'll keep France and Russia out. We don't want the top 10s in it. With them attempting to invade the Baltics. But this led Ukrainian forces to invade. And they create a safe zone for now. They create their own version of Israel's yellow line. Belarus continues into the Baltics, with Romania on the verge of collapse. With this looking like the Romanian border isn't doing well. With Germany and Italy moving into Poland, with it being a slow advance with Romania and Italy. With them deciding to land in northern Estonia and then move from here, get enough forces in. Then they moved into Tallinn. And they took over the city. And they take over these islands, which they use to create a blockade. Like this. Yes, Ukraine has its pre-2014 borders in this video. But let's ignore it. With them taking advantage to move. With them moving into Riga and taking the city. Them managing to take out these nations. And while at the same time, Belarus managed to take out this area. But with them taking opportunity, Ukraine, to try to collapse Belarus. With them advancing out of their safe zone. Moving in and taking Minsk. Belarus is not going to get a fair peace treaty for them. Romania, which is about to collapse. Look at them. Just look. They're not having fun. And Germany takes advantage of their blockade to do this. And then they do this to make it even more effective. With them cutting across the nation, connecting these two fronts. With them using it to move into Warsaw, leading to the collapse of Poland. And with this, they have to collapse the front in Belarus, with Belarusian German forces moving in over here, pushing them back to the border. But they don't believe they're in any problem. As Belarus collapses, well, they get pushed out of Romania. And they get pushed back from the Baltic coast, thus pushing them back here, which thus leads to Ukraine having to withdraw. With this, they use near Kiev to get them to surrender. This fails, so then they move into Odessa. They take Odessa. Fail. They take Lviv. Also fail. They land in Crimea and take it over, even though technically it should be part of Russia. Ignore that. Just ignore it. And with this is where Ukraine agrees to negotiate. Well, let's look into the peace treaty. Yeah, basically Central Europe. But it is a big chunk of Europe because of all Eastern Europe joining. So they made the puppet in the Baltics. They made a puppet in Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, and, well, Ukraine, East Ukraine, with this all being that Hungary leaves with. Not Hungary. Well, Italy. Romania leaves. Belarus leaves with its puppet of Baltica, which I'm calling it because I feel like it. Germany took the rest, and they even took over Crimea as a nice vacation spot. And well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys!